independent journalism looks like.
Smash that like for the MG Show. Subscribe now. Ring that bell. Let's go. Smash that like for the MG Show. Yeah. Let's
go. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Oh, here we are, guys. Welcome to the MG Show. It is Tuesday, July 21, 2026. Shady Groove, welcome to the MG Show. We've got the Lebanese prime minister or president with President Trump today. We're going to dissect that. It's a bilateral meeting with the president of the Republic of Lebanon. This is huge, guys. You know, he's run by Israel. No. This guy would not be in Trump's office if we were beholden to Israel. I mean, it's really that simple, Shady.
Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. And yes, sir, it is very, very simple. The thing is, I think a lot of people are realizing that the conversation is being contaminated with overcomplicated perceptions about what's really going on. In other words, you take something that you can clearly see what is going on, and then you pretend like that it's something so outrageous that no one could possibly stand to even be in the same room with these people. And how could you even not see it my way? And the next thing you know, it's like, well, unfollow me if you don't think. That right there, my friends, is the faux outrage. And what you have is you have a group of people that are addicted to it. They don't really have any interest in the truth whatsoever. They are conspiracy theorists in reality. In other words, all they do is generate conspiracy theories 24/7, never understanding that the idea of investigating a conspiracy theory would be to eventually find out what the truth is and leave it alone. But no, that is not who they are, sir.
Yeah, and you know, this broadcast is the number 6 Trump broadcast out there on the top 70. We're number 6 on Million Podcasts. And on July 18th, what is that, 3 days ago, Shady? 3 days ago. 3 days ago.
3 days ago, yep.
I reported on this, 130 million frozen almost immediately. We went over this thread yesterday, did we not, Shady?
We did, yes, we did. We felt it very relevant, the idea that no one's talking about these different things.
And then today on the news, guess who was talking about it? Here we go. Check this out, Shady Grove.
This is awesome. Listen closely.
most, if not all, of their capability to rebuild. And then we moved on to what we call economic fury. And that's a 1-2 punch. It's the blockade. And then what we're doing at Treasury, and we are tracking these accounts all over the world. We froze a crypto wallet linked to the IRGC the other day, about $130 million. We have found the money man for the Ayatollah, and we are tracking the Ayatollah's properties around the world. We hope to soon be able to print his $100 million dollar plus properties and show the addresses. And we're preserving this money for the American people, but most of all, we are constricting the regime. Their currency has collapsed. It is at an all-time low versus the dollar. It's in free fall. And we think the inflation rate is upwards of 180% in most, if not all.
So we reported on that on X 3 days ago, and here we go talking about it today. This is huge. Nobody's talking about economic fury, Shady.
No.
Yeah.
You know why, Jeff? You know why they're not talking? Because they have they're heavily invested in economic in economic control. They're heavily invested in economic control. That's the reason that they would make such huge investments into the country of Iran, even though the country of Iran is blowing up United States military all over the whole country from left and right. Even though they're blowing up American troops and American soldiers all over the country, left and right, we still continue to invest in them. Why is that? Why is that, EU? Why is that other countries around the world? Why do you invest in Iran whenever all they do is export terrorism? I'd like to know the answer to that question. And it's interesting to me, Jeff, whenever you hear Mr. Besant talk right there, inflation, guess what inflation was in Iran whenever we had Joe Biden? Like almost nothing. How is that possible? How is it possible for America to be experiencing the unbelievable inflation that we went through, almost 10% under Joe Biden's administration, but the country of Iran's economy went on just fine, no inflation whatsoever. Now the tables have turned. Why? Because the good guys that are in charge. That's why. Because the people that are actually trying to fix the problems are in charge, not the people that are trying to keep the problems around so that they can govern you harder.
Yeah, so I'm really getting tired of this X. So I went and found out how to disable autoplay. Finally, they moved it. I've had it like that all my life, but whatever reason, it's happening. So apologize for that. So we got it all fixed now.
No, I know it changed. It changed because I was noticing that whenever I was setting up my show that I couldn't mute it the same way.
What a pain in the ass, Shady. Sorry. So,
okay.
And no, Mikey, I'm not doing it on purpose.
I apologize for that.
Look, Mikey's trying to light us up. He's trying to get us in trouble. So, listen, Mikey, the therapist, we spoke with the therapist this morning. We're all like so cool. You should talk to Poussin about the conversation that she had to endure this morning about wrinkles.
Oh, my God. We'll iron that one out. Shady, real quick.
That's not going to be an easy task.
I want to real quick play this too, Shady Groove. This was from Dan Scavino on July 20th. Look at this. Right? 7 and 10. Messy. I made a funny. You ready? Oh, I like it.
What's 10 plus 7 equal? 17. And yes, I am Q plus. Thank you, 3 Second Dan, for posting this. What's 10?
One of these is going to go viral one day.
Oh, you think? I hope so.
I mean, it's like if people don't see our stuff. Maybe with the new Twitter, people start seeing our posts again.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I thought it was funny. So thank you, 3 Second Dan, for posting that. And I love it.
A Scottish and I blamed interrupting cow.
Moo.
See?
It is. That's exactly what it is. All right. So let's get into this because President Trump, I know it happened already, but there was a lot of nuggets in here as well. The fake news can't contain their stupid stories. And we got to watch it, Shady Grove. President Trump.
And again, we're going to highlight, before we focus on it, we're going to highlight bilateral negotiations. I'm saying this because what they did is they tried to put us in this world of collectivism. And the world of collectivism means that you unilaterally negotiate. In other words, you're like, all these countries are in the same pool and you deal with all of them. You deal with all of them the exact same way. This shouldn't be how we function as America. We should function independently and have a full relationship with every single country on the planet. whether it be embassies, whatever it is, so that we can communicate, so that if they need help, we can help, or so that if they need a better understanding of who we are, we can share that with them. We don't need this whole nonsense that we've had of the Bush era, the neocons of saying, oh, we're going to deal with all of you in the EU the exact same way. We want direct negotiations. And this thing with the Lebanon is a hotbed of Hezbollah and Iran that have been holding that place hostage. What if Donald Trump makes a deal with this guy to do the opposite of what Bibi Netanyahu wants to do?
Well, it seems like that's what's happening, and you're going to hear in here as well, because there was something that Israel did, and Trump didn't hear about that, or right before the meeting he heard about it, and he will be dealing with it. So let's get into it, Shady Grove.
But that doesn't sound like a puppet of Israel, sir. And all these people are saying, the Dugan guy and Tucker Carlson are out there telling me Trump is irrelevant. The communists keep telling me Donald Trump is irrelevant whenever the only person fighting the communists is Donald Trump. It's almost like there might be a tussle going on that the media is trying to hide from us.
Irrelevant from who? For who, right? Is it irrelevant for Dugan and the communists? Is it irrelevant for Tucker Carlson? Is it irrelevant for all these asshats?
Boom.
Projection. Right.
Projection bigly.
We've learned that term, haven't we, somewhere before, haven't we?
Like we're not the sharpest tools in the shed, but if you keep going over and over and over again, we eventually get it.
I'm not the fuzziest interrupting cow. Knock, knock. Moo! Moo! All right, here we go.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be with the president of Lebanon. He's highly respected in his country and actually long beyond his country. We've spoken previously on numerous occasions through representatives, and the relationship is very good. I think that Lebanon has been a very mistreated country for a long period of time. It's an amazing group of people, professors, doctors, lawyers, great intellects, and it's been hit hard for many, many decades, really. It's been hit very, very hard. And yet I have people that live in Lebanon, people that are parents of friends of mine, many cases, and they would never leave. They would not leave under any circumstance. They love it. They love the country. And it's probably a dangerous place in a lot of ways, but they live in areas, they say, we hear bombs going off all the time, but we want to live in Lebanon. They love the country. Very smart people, very successful people, and they live there. But it's been a country of great intellect, great intellectuals. They still love it. They want to be there. And we're going to help it. We're going to help it a lot. So it's an honor to have the president and your representatives here. We've already met a couple of times, and we've had some good meetings. And we are going to solve a lot of problems. We've already solved some of them for Lebanon. As you know, there's a Hezbollah problem. But we've done some things that I think the world will take notice. Again, it's been a very badly treated place and country, and we're going to have it properly treated and treated with respect that it deserves. And Mr. President, it's an honor having you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you
I've
very
been
much.
looking forward to this visit for a long time.
Thank you very much.
Meeting such a great president like yourself.
Well, that's a very nice thing. See, he knows how to get to me. He can have anything. Now he can have anything. Would you like to say something?
Now, really, I would like to thank President Trump, really, and his team for the historic visit and for the historic achievement that we did together by signing the framework with the ultimate objective of ending the state of hostility between Lebanon and Israel forever. I think, Mr. President, this will be your legacy. Together, we'll be able to achieve this objective. It's about time for Lebanon and for the whole region to be stable and secure. And I know your vision is peace, your vision is stability, and I think my vision coincides with your vision. And together, I think we will be able to achieve and to score success in that regard.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. You have tremendous spirit on your side. You have people that love that country, and they're going to make it work.
We're going to make it work.
Right. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, Lebanon, I have two questions, one for you. President Trump, as you work to expand the Abraham Accords, Lebanon still enforces a 1955 law criminalizing contact with Israel for over 70 years. You previously stated you would push Lebanon on this issue. And there is some people still going to prison last month. So did you raise it you will raise it with President Aoun today?
I will. The Abraham Accords have been, I think, a tremendous success. I think you're going to see a lot of countries joining pretty soon. As you know, we have our original. It's so successful for them. Economically successful. It's been that. Nobody left, even during this time of conflict. So, no, I think Lebanon has a very important place.
What is your level of concern of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front?
Well, we'll have to see what happens. So far, it hasn't happened. Might happen. But we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before, and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. That was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis. And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict. I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
Speaker of the Lebanese Parliament rejected the agreement between Lebanon and Israel and said it's a sedition. It's going to cause civil war. He's the Speaker of the Lebanese Parliament, and he speaks for Hezbollah. He's Hezbollah's big brother. Yeah. What do you have to say about that?
Well, maybe I'll let you speak to that.
Actually, the framework doesn't require the endorsement of the Parliament. Okay, it's part of our constitution. It's a prerogative of the president, and we are committed to it. And I think the Speaker of the Parliament is really wants to see the end of this war. He's from the south, and he knows he did his best to rebuild the south. But unfortunately, the south being destroyed in front of his eyes. So he's actually supportive of what we are doing, but we need to be careful. His position as a speaker and as a leader of the Shia community, we have to understand how critical is his position. But I can tell you that Speaker Berri is a man of state. He's supportive of what we are doing, and he's supportive of ending the state of hostility, ending the war once for all.
Just one thing. I think when he sees, because I've heard that he's a good person, good man, and when he sees the progress made, I'm sure he's going to come on.
From Lebanon, from LBCI TV from Lebanon. I have two questions, please. When will the Israeli army fully withdraw from Lebanon? Is there a clear timeline for that? And last question, please. Last week you met with the Iraqi Prime Minister and discussed him or described him as handsome and saying he could become one of the best leaders in the Middle East. How do you describe?
Which one are we talking about?
The Iraqi Prime Minister. Yes. How do you describe President Joseph Aoun?
Well, I'd say he's handsome also, and I think he could become one of the most important leaders in the Middle East. Actually, we do this because they've been trying to do this for decades, right? Decades and decades. So, if I made that statement about somebody else, I would put him in the same category.
When the Israeli army withdraw from Lebanon, when the Israeli army withdraw from Lebanon, is there a clear timeline?
They're in the process of doing that. They're in the process of redeploying to other sections. And again, they get along very well. That was a great agreement they signed with Lebanon, and they're redeploying.
Is there a timeline?
Thank you, Mr. President. The Lebanese army needs help, and the United States said that it's very important for the Lebanese army to take over the villages that Hezbollah withdraw from. How are you going to help them, and how?
Well, we're going to be speaking about that today.
Making sure that you will be in the
We'll be speaking about that today with the president, and we have some very concrete plans already in store for that, with others going in and helping. But they're also becoming much more self-sufficient. And we will be speaking about that. That's one of the subjects we're going to be talking about.
My question is, Israel, the Lebanese army said today that Israeli forces opened fire in proximity to the Lebanese trying to deploy in one of these pilot zones. This is day 2 of the pilot zones. Are you prepared to take any steps, additional steps, to put pressure on Israel to withdraw which I believe President Aoun is planning to ask you.
Well, I'll look. I just heard about that before this conference just happened, and we'll be looking at that. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until
how would
they
you
give
know
up?
if there are no signs?
The hell are you talking about?
You know something that I don't know?
Will they continue to attack our allies?
But you don't know what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station, but you don't know. You don't know anything.
So talks are
You know
still
something that I
possible,
don't know. You know something I don't know.
Well, tell us.
I will tell you, they want to desperately meet, and until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest in even.
So the
Mr. President, are you planning on putting any pressure or consequences on China for what you announced about the meddling in the 2020 election?
Well,
Oh my God, they asked about it.
It took place a long time ago. I think China is maybe a little bit different today than it was then. But look, they do things. Them too. It's not a one-way street, but we'll be talking to them. Yeah.
Mr. President, something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but Border Patrol reported 14 consecutive months, no releases at the southern border. This is something you talk a lot about on the campaign trail that you could run on the job you did on the southern border. Do you feel similarly at this point in time with midterms, considering how well the job you've done? What is the lesson you've learned about Border Patrol?
Well, thank you for that question. The fact is, and maybe it pertains a little bit with respect to you and borders and everything else, we had a border that was totally out of control. I probably won the election, at least partially, on the border, would you say? And the border now, we literally in 14 months, I think it came out this morning, actually, it was just announced, that in 14 months we had nobody coming through, zero people. I have to say, millions came through, and we had zero people come in illegally into our country. And that's made by people that happen to be Democrats, largely Democrats, the people that do those stats. And I'm sure they don't like saying it, but we really had virtually nobody coming in, and they actually say nobody, not even virtually. So it's amazing what's happened there, and very people talk about that anymore. You know, they don't like talking about that. They don't like talking about Venezuela, where we lost no people. I'll be going to Dover for something that I feel it's a great honor for me to do it. These are people that want it, and they feel like I do, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. It's a very simple dictum. They cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have. They're not going to. They have no chance of having a nuclear weapon. And as far as Iran is concerned, I'll let Pete maybe say a couple of words, but we are doing very well. We are degrading them at levels that nobody thought was possible. They're being degraded really so seriously. They did slip something through in Jordan, and if we had other operators, would not happened, unfortunately. But because we have the best equipment in the world, we've stopped almost everything. But when you let other people do your job, with the United States, we let other people do the job, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But we're going to be going and paying our respects at Dover. Pete, would you like to say just how we're doing, generally speaking?
Well, it'll be an honor as well to join you at Dover to recognize these incredible Americans who committed to the cause just like you are. Something no president's been willing to do. 47 years, they build up a conventional capability like the North Koreans did. Remember, that's how North Korea made their way to a bomb.
How would we compare it to that?
No one was willing to stand up to them. President Trump was, and he continues to this day. Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate, to show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said, 10 times harder, which every night we're degrading them further and further. And the president they can talk, otherwise they can deal with the War Department.
And the blockade is up and fully, it's, nobody gets through. Nobody gets through the blockade. It's like a steel wall.
An iron curtain.
Yesterday there was another attack on an ICE facility, this time in New York City. What in your view is prompting these attacks, and do you have a message for those who are attacking ICE?
You're talking about the fire that was set in front of the federal building? Well, this is what's happening with the people that they allowed to come into our country. They shouldn't have allowed them to come in. They shouldn't be here. They're radical lunatics, and I'm getting them out. We're getting them out at pace. You know, we've gotten rid of more than any other president. I read stories, they try and give you phony stats. I was with Tom Homan this morning. He'll give you the statistics if you want, but we're getting bad people out of our country at levels never seen before. There's never been a time when more bad people, and you take a look just here in Washington, we took out almost 5,000 hard-line, hardcore criminals, most of whom came in during the open border periods of the previous administration. An amazing statistic, and this is something that I hate to be talking about in front of the president of Lebanon, but he's got his problems and different problems, but we don't have any problems in Washington, D.C. We've wiped out about 92% of the crime, and we're going to get very close to, I believe we're going to get close to 100% of the crime. And if you take a look at this city, compare this to what it was 15, 16 months ago, this was a dangerous city. I don't know I better not compare it to Lebanon because I don't exactly have your stats, but it might have been Lebanon was safer. This was a dangerous city under the previous administration, Biden, and now it's a very safe city. And there was an article that came out 2 days ago that Washington, D.C. has made the greatest progress of any city in the nation. Now, Memphis also, and New Orleans also. And if they would ask us for help in Chicago, we would turn that around so fast. If they'd ask us for help in New York, we would turn that around so fast. Los Angeles, we would turn that around so fast. But the stat that's so amazing is that 2% of the people create 91% of the crime. Think of that. It's a great stat. Because if it was 70% of the people, that's a problem. If it was 20%, 2% of the people create 91% of the crime. Think of that. 2% of the people, you can handle that easily. So Washington, D.C. is now one of the hottest cities in the country. We have the hottest country in the world. But Washington is now hot. And I do have to say one other thing. We just had the World Cup, as you know very well. And it was the most successful World Cup ever. We didn't even have a protest. We had no crime. With all those events, was like having many, many Super Bowls. Each one was like a Super Bowl. And with all of that, we didn't have crime. We didn't have bedlam. Everybody left here with a different opinion than what they read in the fake news. They love this country. I saw Scotland. I saw Norway. I saw all these countries. I mean, the level of love that nobody wanted to leave. And I just want to congratulate everybody, the job that we did, and all of us, everybody in this room, because everybody in this room was involved. The Vice President was very much involved. It was amazing. I was with Johnny the other day. The job he did is great, but he said he never thought in a million years it could be so free of any difficulty. Think of it. We didn't even have a protest. Not only no crime. Now, there's a reason for all this, but part of it was that people just wanted to pull together. This country, for like a 4-week period, just pulled together. Really amazing. And I didn't want to say it before the final. I didn't want to say how well it was doing. I wanted to get the final up with, because you never know. It only takes... But we just had the most successful World Cup in history. Did 5 times the business of any World Cup in history, and I can't wait to get him back, but I think we won't be able to get him for the next one.
Mr. President, here, especially with this upcoming...
Say what?
Do you feel safe, especially considering
I
the
feel
stress
safe.
on your life?
I feel safe. Why wouldn't I feel safe?
President Trump
I'm President from Al Jadid. Are you still speaking with Hezbollah? You said in previous interviews that you're speaking with Hezbollah.
I don't want to say that, but I would speak to Hezbollah. Yeah. I speak to everybody. I'll speak to people that a lot of people think I shouldn't be speaking to, and things work out.
Mr. President,
I would say this: if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah, you know, he's lived with Hezbollah for a long time. And if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah, I would. You know, I would.
President, follow on Iran. If the Iranians do not make a deal, ultimately, how long will it take for you to stamp out their threats to the Strait and enable full shipping?
So if we left right now, it would take Iran 20, 25 years to rebuild. Okay? And we're not finished at all. But if we left right now, it would take them a long time, years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. So we've had a big impact on Iran. If we didn't do what I did with regard to two things, the Iran nuclear deal done by Barack Hussein Obama, I terminated that. If I didn't terminate it, you wouldn't have Israel right now because they would have had a nuclear weapon years ago. And if we didn't do the B-2 bombers knocking out the nuclear sites a year ago, one of the first things we did early in the administration, they would have a nuclear weapon. And you wouldn't have Israel, and in my opinion, you wouldn't have various other countries in the Middle East. They'd all be gone. They would have been terminated, extinguished. But I believe that by doing what we did, by terminating Iran, who's very evil people leading that country. You saw the number of protesters that they killed, 52,000 plus. I put a couple of them up today, young kids, they kill them. They kill them like they're candy. It's crazy what they do. They treat them so badly. They're just killing people just at random. Over 52,000 people, and nobody talks about it. But if I didn't do the attack on their nuclear sites, or if I didn't terminate the Obama agreement with Iran, which was an absolute hit on having them that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And our deal will be a wall. It already is. They can't have a nuclear weapon right now. It would take them years to produce it. And we will absolutely attack the new site that they're talking about. I mean, how about these people? They're in this because of nuclear weapons, and they're trying to possibly reconstitute a site. We'll hit that site. Any site where they're even thinking about nuclear, we'll be hitting it very, very powerfully. Now, nobody knows, except the Iranians, the damage that we've done to them. We have done damage that will take them 20, 25 years to recover from. So if we left tomorrow, we had a big success. But we're not leaving tomorrow.
Their ability to threaten the street, though. That's the question.
There's a bill right now that's being considered that would allow illegal aliens who are working in farming to get legal status. Do you support that legislation?
I don't know about it. I'll take a look at it.
Last night, the Canada tariffs. One, are those a response to the wildfires in?
No. That's separate. We're looking at that separately.
And what is there anything?
It's only a response to the way they've treated our farmers and our people. Yeah, Canada's been very, very tough on us over the years, for many years, and no other president's done anything about it. I love Canada. I love the people of Canada. Many friends that live in Canada, but their leadership, from Trudeau to the current leadership. I mean, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive. Without us, there's no way they can survive. So, but they've been very, very tough over a period of the last 50 years, actually.
On Syria, Tony Murad, LBC ITV from Lebanon. Do you still support Syria entering Lebanon to disarm Hezbollah?
You mean coming in and doing something with Hezbollah?
Yes.
Well, it's a concept, we get along very well with the president of Syria. He's done a very good job. I wouldn't be surprised if this gentleman's going to do a job just like that. He's done a very good job. He's pulled Syria together. He would like to come in and do something with Hezbollah. He's been fighting Hezbollah for a long time. I think it'd be very effective. So it's something I think.
Tariffs, you increased the tariffs on Canada yesterday. Can you say if you still expect to impose tariffs on the wildfire problem? And can you say
we're looking at that? A lot of damage has been done. They're not managing their forests properly, and the wind has a tendency to blow right over New York City, right over. You saw Detroit; they had to close the whole place. Michigan was really affected. They had to close businesses for 4 days. It's very serious what they're doing, and They don't seem to be able to do anything about it. If they managed their forests, they wouldn't have the fire.
Do you believe that Iran is trying to impact the midterm elections by threatening the Strait of Hormuz?
Probably. They won't have any impact on me. I'm just going to do the right thing. I don't view it as, gee, we're having an election in a period of time. You know, everyone says, oh, I'm doing something before. No, the election, I can't think about that having to do with this. I think people are very impressed. I mean, we took over Venezuela. We now have a great relationship with Venezuela. We went to war with Venezuela, and the war ended in one day. And we have now an incredible relationship with Venezuela. We're taking out millions of barrels of oil. They're making more money now than they ever made before, ever. And we're making a lot of money. We paid for the war many times over with Venezuela. We lost nobody. We lost nobody. We didn't lose one. And it was a violent attack. As you know, we took out a man who was a very evil man. What he did was very evil, in many different ways. We took him out. But, you know, Venezuela, they said the same thing. When I did Venezuela, everyone said, because look at the drugs, look at what they did, where they took all of their prisons, they opened up their prisons, and they have everybody in a prison come in through Biden's absolutely insane open borders policy. And we did that in one day. Think of it. And now we are working very closely with the administration, and we get along very well. Venezuela is a very happy place. Had a tragic incident with the event that took place a week ago. What a terrible thing that was. They had a movement, a shifting of earth that was unbelievable. They've never seen anything like it. A lot of people were killed. So it's all unrelated. But by the way, we were the first ones there to help. We were there to help Venezuela. It was an earthquake, I guess you'd call it. It was a pretty massive earthquake. And we were able to do a lot of good. But they lost a lot of people. Venezuela, the people are so happy that we're there. The jobs, everything's happening. And we're taking out many times the money that we spent on the war. This one, Iran is bigger. It's a more complex situation, but we're probably doing equally as well if you look at the damage that's been done. And again, as I said to the young man that just posed the question over here, if we left today, it would take them decades to rebuild, and I don't believe they could ever rebuild. And honestly, they haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice.
Haley Wolf, Scripps News. Thank you for the question. Do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain? And when you say we're not done yet, what is left to finish?
Well, I think that they may have. We don't have it on record. All we do is read the fake news. You know, we time. So, you know, maybe this one they have right, but it's okay. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. You're talking about the centrifuges. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it. You know, normally I wouldn't say that. If I thought they could do something about it, I would never say that. But we'll be hitting that area pretty soon, and very heavily.
Please go ahead. President Trump, 2 years ago during the campaign, I interviewed you and you told me on MTV Lebanon that the peace will happen in Lebanon. And every word you said during the interview, it's happening today. Like from the first day in the administration, you were working hard for peace.
It's true. Because I understood Lebanon. And I understood how horribly Lebanon has been treated as a country. They've been like a whipping post. What's happened with Iran and with Hezbollah. But Lebanon's been treated very incredibly badly. And maybe I'm a little prejudiced in favor of Lebanon because I have so many Lebanese friends. You're not at all. Well, no, but there's so many Lebanese friends. And so I understand Lebanon. Tom Barrack is Lebanese, the ambassador.
Regarding the Lebanese army. President Aoun, does the Lebanese army currently have the funding, equipment, and manpower necessary to implement the agreement? Or you are asking today President Trump for additional U.S. assistance today to do the job?
Definitely, with the support of President Trump, and we spoke on the phone, and I told him I need two things from you: political support and supporting of the LAF, which is the LAF is the most trusted institution in the country, and it has the most powerful weapon, which is the trust of the public. Like any armed forces in the world, the Lebanese armed forces is the backbone of security and stability. We need to support the LAF. The LAF maintain the country safe and stable. Without the LAF, everything will collapse. We don't want that. I think President Trump doesn't want that. In 1975, the first institution to collapse was the LAF. And as a result, we saw the emergence of many local militias, and the south was empty, allowing the Palestinians to roam the south and launch attack against Israel. We don't want to see that back again. All we're asking is keep supporting the LAF, and they know that the LAF is doing a great job, performing its duty to the fullest. I fully trust the LAF. I fully trust the leadership of the LAF.
We will have. They did a great step forward with the recent signing with Israel. That was a big step.
Are you going to allow direct flight from America to Lebanon again on Pedro?
I can see that happening, absolutely.
Question for President Aoun. Tony Brad from MBCI TV. So Ambassador Isa, the U.S. Ambassador to Lebanon, Isa, told me that the President Aoun would not leave Washington empty-handed. What concrete outcomes will you bring back to Lebanon?
You'll find out. Thank you all very much. We're doing very well with Iran. We're doing unbelievably with the economy. We have investment. As you know, Toyota is coming in with the biggest plant, I understand, anywhere in the world. They're leaving Mexico. They're coming into our country. They're going to come into Texas, to be specific. We have more plants under construction now than at any time, by many times. We have over $19.2 trillion being spent in America, and they're going to be opening up in a year and a half. And there has never been a time like this in America. Truly, it's the golden age of America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Now get the F out. Yeah, that's your president. Thank you for joining us today. We wanted to hear that in real time. Well, not real time. That was earlier today. But we wanted to hear the whole thing, Shady, because that's what we do right here on the MG Show.
Well, because you hear things that the media will not tell you. You hear things that human beings can understand, but the media cannot. You see, the media is a behemoth. They can only see things in the sense of the collective. They don't really look at the individual. And here you again have a very hotbed of chaos in Lebanon that is perpetrated by the forces that are holed up in Iran, that are currently taking a beating, meaning that all of the little fingerlings that are out there running their little operations of extremism are starting to dwindle. And as those start to dwindle, now we have negotiations, i.e. preparations, bilateral talks, whatever you want to call it, as we're setting up for the future, even mentioning possible cohesion with the Abraham Accords. This is monumental. It again another step up toward the golden age that we were promised that we would be led into.
But Shady, Israel.
Oh, I know. Yeah, boy, oh boy. It doesn't really seem like Israel did a lot of puppeting during that speech there. They might want to get on that, do a little bit better.
Yeah, they're not doing very good. And, it's interesting because he said there was, they have these pilot zones where they're like, isn't that what they're called? The pilot zones? I can't remember. Yes. And they're supposed to be peaceful, and Israel's not. And Trump is like, well, I just heard about that before this meeting, and we're going to go find out what the heck's going on. Okay? Mm-hmm. You don't do that to somebody that's puppeting you.
No, you do
You
not.
don't say that to somebody that's puppeting you either, do you?
No, you don't. I'm having an argument with Grok about the investments that Trump has made. It's very funny to watch this AI.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. They're like trying to tell me that it's not real, and so now I'm like filling it in about, oh no, it's real, buddy.
Yeah. And then what about Grok misgendering you, Shady Grove?
Yeah, that's a consistent disappointment, isn't it?
It's crazy.
We can't teach it.
Oh my God! Speaking of
I can teach
misgendering,
the Million podcast guy that they were able to fix that in 3 seconds.
yeah, they did.
But it was because of the AI saying it that it ended up like that anyway.
That's
so
right.
whatever.
And we got our Yeti trying to fight it, saying Shannon is a man. Shannon is a
We
dude.
even put it in the meme.
Yeah. Jeez.
They're defending me, guys, and
So-
I'm thankful.
So this was Shady complaining the other night.
Oh no!
About Grok misgendering.
Yes, this was me complaining. I got misgendered by Grok. Calm down, Shannon.
Jeez.
Why do you
Good Lord, it's okay.
They're not supposed to be here.
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Try it.
Are you threatening me? Can we get another deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun.
What did you say?
7351.
We're gonna need some backup on this. This nut is crazy.
So these are your students at UCF, guys. Okay.
Yeah, those are the people.
Who is
that,
the parent to that thing, and why is it in school? Make mental health great again. I'm sick of this shit, Shady Groove. Just to be honest, I'm so tired of it.
Don't worry, man. They're coming to save you. Don't you understand? These are the people that are teaching us that Donald Trump is the fascist. Don't you get it? They're coming to save us. They have our best interest at heart. They don't think about anything. They're completely selfless human beings. They have no even presence that they exist. They're so selfless in their attempt to show us that Donald Trump is a maniacal fascist. At the same time, Jeff, that he is a maniacal fascist, he is also a derelict in his duties and an old curmudgeon that can't make decisions and falls to sleep and is incompetent. So Donald Trump can hold both of these things in their head at the same time. If Donald Trump can hold both these things in your head at the same time, you might be a nut.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. That is not, I mean, Shady, look at this. Let's just watch.
I can come in.
Oh, I'm entertained.
Okay, are you going to calm down?
I want
No, it's too late now. It's too late now. He's going to be taken away.
Bailey, you need to stop. I just want to get away from him. I understand that.
He needs
Shay! Tickling me! Just say Shay!
You're a dude. You're a dude. All right? You're a dude. I mean,
like none of us have anything to connect this to.
Can I say that the guy's a dude without getting canceled?
Yeah, well, yes, but look at the world we live in. None of us have anything like that to compare our realities to whenever we were young. Like there was nothing no example like that. There's not even anything close. And now you have hundreds of thousands of these people that are literally lit on fire like this. Thanks to your news media, thanks to DEI, thanks to equity, these people somehow think that they're better than everybody else. Whenever the whole idea of America is nobody is better than anybody else. LGBTQ, you don't have any more rights than anybody else. Everybody has the same rights. Nobody gets a special segment of rights. Black Lives Matter doesn't have special rights. Antifa doesn't have special rights. But you have a class of politicians that are protecting an operation that wants to impugn you and to change your society into something else and reimagine it after they tear down what it is that you've built. That's the problem we're having, and that's who this person represents.
Yeah, and did anybody else notice that thing that set fire to the federal building in New York was like a small person?
You're not allowed to say that either, I don't think.
I'm not? I can't say that?
I don't think so. I mean, now you're misdwarfing people.
No, my God.
Look at you.
Oh.
It's not a midget, bro.
I didn't say it. I didn't even say that word.
Ahmadinejad.
Ahmadinejad. Oh my God. I didn't even say that word, guys. All right. I did not say it. Stop.
He's a Nazi. That's what he said.
Stop miswording me.
I'm the one being misgendered here, not you, Jeff. I don't really understand how you're like trying to take now you're trying to steal my thunder. I'm the one that's being misgendered.
Answer the question. All right. So check this out, Katie. Look at this person. Like, look at the. Watch when
Oh
it
wow!
walks.
Look at the talent to pour out a bucket
Watch.
of gasoline.
Watch when it walks. Look at.
God.
Oh wow!
Weird, right?
Does look a little star-stepped, but they said he was a vet.
Get away.
Oh lordy.
Oh my God.
But also, they were claiming incendiary device yesterday, and like the whole news media light up all day long. He poured out a bucket of gasoline and lit it on fire. I mean, like this is not like Ted Kaczynski sitting there like making little pipe bombs and sending them out into the mail or something. It's not an incendiary device. It's a bucket of gasoline.
Agent Miami says, "Watch it on the midget stuff, Jeff. Great things come in small packages."
I'm trying to tell you, he's very racist like that.
I'm sorry, Agent Miami. Oh,
really disappointed in him too. Like I put a lot of stock in this guy, and now I have him come out here and expose himself like this right in front of God and everybody.
And great things do come in small packages. That is for sure. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, that's what I say every day.
But the funny thing is the guy had ICE issues already. He was an anti-ICE protester, and Mandami didn't talk anything about that with his carefully worded posts.
No, he was trying to arrest Netanyahu.
Yeah, he was trying to arrest Netanyahu, and President Trump had nobody's getting arrested.
I didn't realize that when you reported it yesterday. I saw that after. I'm like, oh, that's why he said that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's gonna have to be like a clip, man. We're gonna have to use that. I think we can use that in our. The two of us should start working against the counselor. What if the two of us started to team up against the counselor and start to generate some issues? You know what I mean? Get some extra FaceTime.
Oh my God, FaceTime. Oh boy. I tell you, we've got a problem, and you people that are not looking at your Democrat Party and worrying about if you're a regular Democrat, what's going on with your party. If you're not standing up and saying nothing, you are the problem. Wow, I can't believe it, Shady.
You mean to tell me that you think that the Democrats have a communism problem?
Yeah.
that it's like right on the surface, and they're not really saying now they have a platform. Now they've taken the Communist Manifesto and turned it into the DSA talking points. So you can literally clearly see they're not joking around. They're going to take your property. They don't want you to have anything. They are going to steal from the rich and give to the poor, Jeff.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Like Robin Hood up in this communism, his house.
Robin Hood up in here, right? Oh my goodness. Geez, Shady, there's just so much going on. We've got so much freaking stuff going on, and a lot of people are just worrying about the stupidest crap, guys. Like the Tate brothers. I don't care about the Tate brothers. I know that General Flynn propped them up, Cooker to Tarleton propped him up, and now they've got some big charges, Shady, and you can go read it, right, if you want.
Yeah, man. General Flynn was trying to get them to give him $1 million for his Gold Commie Institute and all these other different things. And Ivan Ranklin was saying that the Tate brother is part of the Global Retribution Tour. Well, it looks like the Global Retribution Tour is wound up in the big house.
In the tank, Shady Grove. They're in the tank.
Yeah, it's like put them under the jail. I don't care.
And it's interesting. It sounds like he's got a lot of connections globally. Romania, he was talking about, Romania and all these other, selling child porn. And, who would have a list of people worldwide that are child molesters, Shady?
Like someone that would know where the bodies are?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should investigate.
Maybe. I'm just not sure where we might find this information, Shady.
It's almost like they hint at things, but they don't say things.
Yeah. Flynn has tagged Tate multiple times on X. Yes. But I don't know where he would get this list of high-level pedophiles, maybe to work with the Tate brothers. I have no idea.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be using anything for blackmail, these mafia types. They don't really like to blackmail, they shy away from it. They don't go to it like a moth to flame and then utilize it against people. No. They leave it alone.
Yeah. So that I just care to comment, General Flynn. This is the Andrew Tate's new charges include 19 for indecent images of a child and extreme porn. If this is true, it's huge, Shady.
And absolutely, if it's true, and the reality is, it's like this guy knows that the United States has an agreement with the UK for extradition, and he showed up here on our shore acting like that he was above the law, and turns out he isn't.
Yeah. Wow.
I bet he's in there right now trying to, like, you know, what do people like this do? They start to talk.
Yeah. When does a bird sing?
Whenever it's captured, sometimes.
Interesting.
Sometimes spring.
A computer froze up again.
I saw it glitching. Now
weird.
I hear beeping.
That was Yeti,
machine.
I think. That was Yeti.
We're running up against he's trying to tell us that the beeping will continue until morale improves.
I'm not doing it. Answer the question. Oh, gosh, guys. Too funny.
It just is what it is.
A lot of weird stuff going on out there. We're going to be back with our number 2 in a minute, Shady Grove. But, you know, President Trump dealing with the Lebanese president is amazing, guys. And you hear that one of the greatest accomplishments that the Lebanese guy said was the way that they're going to help Palestine and rebuild it, right? The Middle East Pact that they have there, Shady Grove. This is how you negotiate, Shady. This is how you are, you know, this is what diplomats do, Shady. They say, what do you need? I got this. You got that. Let's be friends and make money together. That's really where we want to be, right?
If you're a trailblazer will blaze a new trail.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're setting up the future for success as opposed to complicating problems to rule over.
Yeah. What's up with Tulsi's brother? Well, he's got some big problems.
Yeah, big problems.
Yeah. And that's Tulsi's brother, not Tulsi. Let's be honest. Let's understand how we all think here as Anons, right? Not that I'm defending any of that. And justice will be there.
And very, very mental episode breakdowns, call out for help. That's what was going on with her brother.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll just pray for that. And Shady Grove, this is General Flynn. Andrew, if you want to unload some of your earned wealth, I'd ask you to consider a healthy donation, $1 million towards our Gold Institute for International Strategy. We do a lot of good work for a lot of humanity. Thanks for considering donating. Jeff.
Give me some of that trafficking money, Andrew.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that. Mm-hmm. Wow. Thank you, Lincoln Logger, for that. That's an article that he just posted in there. And you know what? I'm going to repost it because it's absolutely relevant. Thank you for that.
Now,
and we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, it's Jeffrey Peterson and Shannon Townsend with the MG Show. We are under relentless attack by the mainstream media. They've got our PayPal, our Patreon, our YouTube, our everything, you name it. We are under attack. We need your help.
Our request is for you to get involved and support independent patriot journalism here in this critical battle that we are in for America. Please jump on over and support us right here on Give, Send, Go.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust to your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. Kings, $19.98. Queens, only $18.98. And Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $29.98.
Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept. Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
The MG Show, where psyops go to die.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's true. You heard correctly. This summer, the Q Lounge Live returns to the airwaves every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Hello, I'm your host, Shannon Townsend, a.k.a. Shady Groove, and we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be taking your calls. We are going to be following your wonderful president. We are going to be standing in the gap. We are going to go places where the conspiracy theorists tell you that you're not allowed to go. We are going to uncover the truth and follow along as Donald Trump has his way with all of these people that he stood up a long time ago and told us that he was going to. Well, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening every single day, and we're going to keep you updated with a weekly show. Get ready, get your friends, show up. That's right, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Join me there, right here on the MG Show channel on Rumble. God bless you and God bless America.
They paint the picture, twist the frame, call the truth a dangerous game. Feed the fear, hide the proof. We the people swallow the lie for truth. Silent majority held our tongue while the web was woven and the damage done. Reverse the spin, turn it around. See the bias, tear the veil down. They weave the lies, we bring the light. Flip the script back to what's right. Receipts are stacking, clock is striking. Lights are coming, no we're done surviving. Reverse the spin, hey, hey. Reverse the spin today. We the people silent, no more. Ooh, yeah. Silent, no more. They spin the story, change the name, hide the bloodlines, play the game. Propaganda echo chamber loud, but the truth is rising from the ground. We took the bait, we stayed asleep. Now we're waking up, the harvest is deep. Reverse the spin, turn it around. See the bias, tear the veil down. They weave the lies, we bring the light. Flip the script back to what's right. Receipts are stacking, clock is striking. Lights are coming, no we're done surviving. Reverse the spin, hey, hey. Reverse the spin today. We the people silent, no more. Silent, no more. No more change from the stories they sold. No more living in the dark and the cold. We expose the lie, we claim the day. It's time to live, not just obey. Reverse the spin, turn it around. See the bias, tear the veil down. They weave the lies, we bring the light. Flip the script back to what's right. Receipts are stacking, clock is striking. Lights are coming on, we're finally living. Reverse the spin, hey, hey. Reverse the spin today. We the people silent,
Boom. That is a hot one from our best friend ever, Poussant Shady Grove. Welcome back.
Wow. Reverse the spin.
We gotta, because they've spun it. They've lied so many times. Lied. And then guess what, Shady? They lied some more.
And they're still lying today. The media is still lying today, and they're not talking about all this stuff with the election. They're not talking about any of these different things that we can clearly see that went on. Now the evidence is being published. And instead of go look at the evidence and report on the evidence that was published, they go out and say, we've already seen all of this evidence, which tells us everything that we need to know. We're slowly, inch by inch, one by one, walking people away from the absolute insanity that is the media and teaching them that they can trust themselves. And whenever the media comes out to gaslight them, or the media just completely skips over things, that they can look past it and learn for themselves in the environment that we're in. Because, man, the game is changing. The mainstream media is dying more and more every single day. And this administration, I think, may have a little coffin nail for them in the long run.
Yeah, it's going to be great, guys. Something's happening. Because, Shady, I just want to bring this to everyone's attention again. Check it out.
2020 election, the most secure in American history.
Most secure election in American history.
The most secure in American history.
Most secure election in American history.
Most secure election in American history.
The most secure in American history.
Most secure election in American history. The safest, the most secure election we've ever seen.
Cleanest election, the safest election, the most secure election ever run.
Most secure election in American history.
The most secure election in American history.
The most secure in history.
What's the most secure election ever?
The most secure election in American history.
Let's just be clear, this is the most secure election in American history.
The most secure in U.S. history.
This, in fact, was the most secure election yet.
This was the most secure election in history.
The most secure or the most secure election in American history.
The most secure election in history. Most secure election in modern American history.
Most secure election in our history.
Safest and most secure election in our history.
Safest, most secure election we have ever had.
The most secure in American history.
The most secure election in American history.
Most secure election in American history.
Most secure election in American history.
The most secure election in American history.
The most secure election that we've had.
The safest, most secure elections in American history.
It was the most secure election in the history of the country.
The most secure in our history.
Most secure election of our lifetime.
The most secure election ever, the 2020 election.
The safest, most secure election in recent history.
Can you honestly tell me in all the states that no ballots from people that are already deceased were not filled out and sent in?
This was the most secure election.
Most secure election. Shady, now let's look at that. So they're in a cult, right? So that's what a cult does, right? They endless politicians and media crying the most secure election in American history on loop, Shady Grove. Meanwhile, you know that Q warned all of us about the rigged system, rigged elections, Dominion, poll books, foreign interference, poll cheating. The gaslighting is next level. NCSWIC, nothing can stop what is coming, is Chris Krebs, guys. What happens when the news is no longer reliable and independent? What happens when the news is no longer trustworthy? What happens when the news simply becomes an extension of an arm of the political party? Fact becomes fiction. Fiction becomes fact. When does news become propaganda? Identity creation? And we just watched what I wanted you to watch, Shady. It's crazy. This is a Q-proof post. And then the White House, Rapid Response has a thread. Do you kind of want to go over that a little bit, Shady Grove? Because nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, I'm 100% okay with going on that. I think I read through. I have a number of things that I could comment on. And you know what that video, the montage that you played me, it's so interesting right now, right? Like whenever that was going on, that was a little bit like, but now look back at what propaganda actually looks like. Look back and understand that what you're looking at is communist propaganda, the same type of communist propaganda they were utilizing. Right now, they're telling you that Iran is doing just fine. If anything, it looks like Iran is beating the United States. I mean, they're like 3 miles away from the shores on the Pacific coast. They're just about to invade Washington state. Now, next thing you know, they'll be coming into the town of Laredo pretty soon from the Mexican border. And I better look out in Florida, Jeff. From what I'm hearing, Miami is on the cusp of being invaded. Iran has pretty much got us pinned down in the corner. Propaganda propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Again, doth protest too much is what I see there. Much like whenever we had the former National Security Advisor Susan Rice come out and send an email to herself on January the 5th, 2017, saying to herself that her administration and the national security team did everything by the book. See, doth protest too much. These people have a hard time living with themselves. And so what they do is they have to make content to try to make other people think and act in accordance with their motivation so that they don't look like they're creating propaganda.
So I like Joe Ray Perkins' perspective here. So if this was the most secure election, does that mean the previous elections were unsecured? What does that mean, guys? What 100%. Are you trying to say?
That's 100% what they're saying. You see, that's what happens whenever propagandists function, is that they inadvertently open up a can of worms that questions would solve. But Americans don't have a lot of fortitude for the questions, and that's what Q came to sort of try to kickstart. Americans got pretty complacent with the direct questioning, and that's a great question, Joe Ray.
Yeah, I love it. So Shady Groove, this is the pinned post at Rapid Response 47. After the President of the United States declassified intel on foreign election interference and the deep state cover-up, the radical left and their fake news allies immediately moved to discredit, downplay, and distract from the shocking disclosures. Here are the facts, Shady Groove. We're going to set the record straight. President Trump declassifies intel, okay? This is the fake news claim. Yeah, should we do it in the real way that they sound?
No, let's just let them.
Not like this.
I'm not sure I can stop you.
Fake news claim.
President Trump's address contained no new information, Shady.
Is that good?
Okay. Yes, that's okay.
So what's the fact, Shady? President Trump released a substantial body of newly declassified intelligence that had never been made public or even shared with the president at the time. This includes assessments confirming that China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and other malign actors have capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure, as well as the evidence that Maduro regime in Venezuela successfully deployed methods to digitally alter vote totals in undetectable ways. This information has major implications on our own elections, and here's the proof, Shady.
So manipulate vote totals in undetectable ways. Doesn't that give the media the green light to report that there's no way there could be manipulation? Think about that for a second. They've developed the ability or the process by which they can change the vote without being detected, therefore giving the media plausible deniability infinitely.
Yeah. And then here's how they do it. This is a CIO. This is the technique that they used. September 2020 reporting on this plan says the technique was allegedly designed to replicate digital hash files sent to the central vote counting database, mimic real voting machines that favored the ruling party, overwrite hash files of voting machines that favored the oppression, and make altered votes appear to originate from legitimate voting machines. I mean, you should be pissed off no matter what your party is, Shady Grove.
Every single, if and when any single vote is changed, manipulated, or thrown away, that's an American's voice. That's an American's voice being stomped on. That's a boot on your neck. That is you being silenced. That is censorship. That is actual violence. That is violence in America to take away or to stand up someone in competition with someone else's vote as a proxy. That is violence in our system. That the system cannot stand that type of pressure. The system requires an honest count. Listen to me. The system to work requires an honest count. You can't get an honest count from dishonest people. And too many of your precincts out there around the country have dishonest people doing the counting. Where did we lose sight of this? Go back to the days of Andy Griffith to understand, what is right, what is wrong. You got to teach people from whenever they're young to understand what's wrong, and to take away a person's vote, to think that it's okay for any state to do this, like to treat this like a statistic. You can talk about statistics all you want, and we can say stat this, stat that, percentage, whatever. It's a vote. A vote is not a statistic. A vote is an American. It's representative of a human being that is an American that is in charge of governing the country. Let me explain that to you. We the people, in case you haven't heard, big memorandum, I want to send out a notice. We the people run this government. So we the people have to be honest in our assessment of our process, in our process of doing government.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing right here is a whole slew of people that are telling you that corruption is the way, not an honest count, corruption. You have to shut up if you want an honest count and listen to us govern from a position that we didn't achieve because we didn't really get this many votes, because we censored and we violently threw out your voice so that we could listen to the illegal vote.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to me because I'm trying to speak up for each American whose vote was thrown out is I mean, there should be some sort of legal framework for this.
Yeah. I mean, if the Save America Act, prove that you're a citizen. Oh. Wow, Shady. Let's see.
Fired up, buddy.
What's that?
I said it gets me fired up. I got to save some energy.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm just trying to find something here. CEO Smartmatic, who admits that his company was set up to do exactly what it's done. Let me see. I'm just trying.
And let's not forget to notice that Fox News went out and paid like $800 million to Dominion, and then Dominion dropped their case against Mike Lindell. Why did Fox News not have any cojones to stand up for what it was they knew to be true? Right now, Donald Trump just released all the information that they would need in a court case to prove their case and to force Dominion to drop the case against them. But did they fight? No, they didn't. They kowtowed down, just like they're doing right now on their air. Who's going to be their next president? Oh, it's going to be the Stephen Smith guy. Oh, no, it's going to be Hunter Biden's running. Oh, Don Lemon's running for president. Maybe Joy Reid could be running for president.
Yeah.
It's like a big Democrat promo over there.
So, Shady, one of the reasons I think we were thrown off Twitter was because of this thread on November 7th, 2020 that I did. And you just read right here about Smartmatic and all that, how they did it. Smartmatic and Sequoia reported contracts in 400 U.S. counties at the time. It's almost like they took it right out of this thread, Shady Groove. Dominion, is it a computer glitch? Because remember, they were telling us there was a glitch, okay? You have to go back and understand. You have to understand the past in order to go forward. So controlling the result by percent required the use of decimals, Shady. Check this out.
Decimals. In a vote count.
I found something that it reeked when I first found it. But then the intrigue made me say, well, why is it there? Votes being counted as money. 16,034 votes and 0.3.
Oh, wait a minute.
You can divide up.
So the master computer can divide whole votes up into fractions, and we'll see what that can do to an election.
This thing becomes God to determine who the sheriff will always be, who the district attorney will always be, who the mayor will always be. Contract signing authority belongs to whoever I decide the winner is going to be.
There's a lot of assumptions being made by the public, and when you actually go out in the field and try to authenticate each step, it's very surprising, really.
I'm tired of her camera being on me. I don't want her near me. Okay, and there's nor this lady. In other words, we're not able to give them what they want at all. Hey.
Watch what happens if you cap a candidate's results at 43% or any percent.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
And now imagine if the default setting is to hide the decimals. Right now, the GEMS program is installed and counting votes in 25 states and 616 jurisdictions. But fractional counting began to migrate from the GEMS program into other vendors. Voting systems which count votes as fractions may count as many as 99% of all American votes in 2016.
We have these systems that are just simply not operating in a way that's accountable to the public.
When we asked, why couldn't we get to the central tabulator, the intimidation that occurred there? If you ask another question, you're going to jail.
My name is John Brakey.
I'm an election integrity activist out of Tucson, Arizona. I caught them breaking and entering into the computers. I could actually see them.
Wow. So there's more to that, but this is a thread that I did just a day or two after the election, Shady. So fraction magic. Votes are instantly redistributed to match the planned result with no need to reprogram for different elections, races, precincts, candidates, or voting methods. And, you've got California. How long did it take them, Shady Groove?
Yeah.
Remember, they were 66 reporting for many, many days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you need to do is you need to go back and remember what voting looked like whenever you were younger. Whenever a governor would get 68% of the vote, or a senator would get 71% of the vote. Right now, what you see is this dynamic of 49-51, 48-52, 47-53. These tight little numbers. Yeah. This is the reason they compress it down like that. And the voting is that this dynamic is in voting is so that they can squeeze in the right person, so that you don't have to cheat too much. You see what I'm saying? It's not it's not representative of an actual vote. In an actual vote, what you'll have is these massive differences between candidates. And I'm not talking about just in general elections. I'm also talking about in primaries. Look at what's happening in like a Republican or a Democrat primary. Tiny, tiny little margins everywhere, all the way across the country. Whenever one candidate is like, maybe that candidate is absolutely backed by Donald Trump, so he has a lot more support, but still it's going to show in the polling or the primaries, they're just right together. This is the way that they're diluting the vote so that there's no real dynamic of like a very strong candidate. Because if you see a candidate that's getting like 65 or 70% of the vote, other candidates in other precincts around the country will emulate that because they see it as a working method. Instead, they try to dilute, water down everybody, make everybody the same. Then you can sneak in a communist every once in a while.
That's right. Like this.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Second,
take him at his word. He didn't misspeak there.
I believe him.
I believe him too.
Yeah. And then the deep state expended all of their ammunition to overthrow the U.S. government. Fraction magic, mail-in ballots, fraudulent mail-in ballots, caught throwing away ballots, kids voting, dead people voting, not to mention previous and many other coup attempts. Wow, Shady.
This is the reason that California is claiming privacy, and a number of other states are claiming privacy so that they do not have to share their voter rolls with the federal government. I'd just like for you to understand that they are resisting sharing the information about their federally certifiable elections with the federal government. That's no bueno. That's not going to work. So there's going to be consequences. What are the consequences? Well, the consequences could possibly be that your votes aren't going to count in California, Oregon, and Washington. That could be the consequences of this. And I'm not joking around. It's really coming down to it. Like you cannot hide. You're not going to be able to participate in one state can't opt out of rules that every other state has to abide by. That's not the way this goes. It doesn't matter who's in the administration. This is sort of the way that they're trying to set up this dynamic where, you got states seceding from the union. That's kind of what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, guys. So going back to the rapid response thread, Shady Groove, fake news claim. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The fake news claim is,
we already knew foreign adversaries were trying to interfere in our elections.
Okay. You did? Yeah. Fact. The point is to expose the extent to which the foreign adversaries were attempting to interfere in our election. For example, President Trump exposed how China obtained the personal data of 220 million American voters. Names, addresses, phone numbers, and party affiliations during the 2020 election cycle, representing the largest known compromise of U.S. voter information in history. Intelligence agencies knew about this breach in at least 18 states, yet they kept it hidden from the president and Congress.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Crazy. And remember this, Shady Groove, this is right here, this one right here. This is a Q post. Nothing can stop what is coming. Okay. And this is CISA. This is Krebs, Shady. Remember we were, I guess, notified about this, Shady.
Yes, we were by Q.
Yeah. This was pointed out by Q. Wow. All right. Going back to this, going over here. So the fake news. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to point out within the statistic that you're just reading, how many people? 220 million?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as of 2020, the 168 million registered in America.
Wow.
So what do you reckon?
There's some numbers.
Isn't that interesting?
Fake votes, right?
Fake votes or people that have died, dead people. This has been going on for 20 years. That's why they have this much data. And, you know, because you think of 20 years, 5, 6 million people or illegal immigrants in the system that are registered or look like they're registered so that they can submit votes. How come China has 220 million people registered to vote in China, but America only has 168 million people registered to vote here stateside? I find that a very compelling stat. I'm sure that the media has a really clear explanation for that.
Yeah, and, you know, China obtained the personal data of 220 million American voters.
Because China thinks that all of us are registered to vote, so they can if they have this information, they can literally make a vote for you. This would explain why so many people go to their polling place and it says that you've already voted.
Yeah,
this explains that.
Definitely. If you don't vote, somebody might take your vote. Absolutely, 100%.
No, you're going to be voted for. You show up to see if somebody already voted for you, or to see if you get to vote instead of your other you voting first. You know, go early so you get to make your voice heard before the other you shows up later in the day.
Future proves past? What?
Yeah, I think you might be misapplying that.
All right, we got the next fake news claim.
President Trump was in office in 2020, so he was undermined by his own team.
Oh, well, that justifies it, sir. That means, okay, there you go. Right there is they're definitely saying that their continuity of government plan was justified, Jeff, to sideline and neuter the president, and nobody listened to what the man said, and then go out and say, well, if he was the president, he could have done something about it, even whenever nobody was listening to what the man said. Oh, great story, bro.
So the fact is that exactly that the point. Deep state elements within the government withheld important assets from President Trump. One analysis admitted to deliberately massaging the president's daily brief to keep the election-related intelligence out, while an FBI official even described running a shadow government to prevent information from reaching the president. Shady Groove.
Yes. There's no clear definition of the word treason. There's no clear definition of the word. Like what? I'll try to imagine, you know, the bickering that Washington and Hamilton and Jefferson would do. You know, they'd bicker back and forth about all these different things, these little particulars. This is something they could agree on. It's like, it wouldn't matter what, you know, you're a Whig party. It doesn't matter what party you're part of. They would agree completely that the running a shadow government and not giving information to the president so that you could make him look like a fool in public was treason.
So this goes on to say, I think mentioned to you before, but there's some pending. That makes it clear China has been caught conducting election influence. At least that's how it was described to us. Redacted. But as you scroll up, note that the NSA is deliberately massaged our one pending PDB to avoid any direct links to the election.
And we showed you last week the connections to the PDB directly to the NSA in a number of Q posts explaining almost exactly that.
Exactly right. This is all a Q proof, guys. Here's another one. I'm concerned about politics seeping into this. There's no reason we can't have confidence, etc. That they have a preference. I don't disagree with the consensus view is most likely, but strongly disagree that we can be so confident about it giving blank or redacted and that it had happened to them since. I'm troubled by CIA's comments in the recent COI. Wow, Shady.
Treason is everywhere.
Let's look at this. This is This is Flores, Nikki Flores, right there, talking back.
This is our deep state director.
This is her from the FBI, right? Isn't that where she was? Yeah. Good morning, sunshine. Ooh, sunshine, huh, Shady?
Oh, interesting.
Good morning, sunshine. Do you have any read-aheads for your Fit F update or whatever final update? I have to leave early in the morning to get Nakasone prep. So she went to the NSA to prep Nakasone, Shady Groove, who was the head of the NSA.
That's interesting, too.
Let me shoot you an email. Thanks. Unrelated. Do you have a Ask Serial for the IIR you mentioned to me last week regarding China? It's recalled. Okay. Talking to the presidential daily briefer, that's why I'm asking. She's only asking if there was a revision on the Russia one. She says there should have been, Nikki Flores says, there should have been, yes, revision to the source statement, but I haven't seen it. My team's not in yet to confirm, though. Let me check Sentinel. Okay. I looked in our system, but didn't see it. But the system, I used to look at your IIRs, is not friendly, so it might be somewhere down there. Flores says, yeah, doesn't look like they've pushed out a revision yet for F's sake. Okay. The director has the original in his book, this AM. Flores, Nikki Flores says, great. Whoever this person is says, hashtag fun never ends. Seriously, we're pushing out a note today to all FOs that the election-related IIRs coming through FITF HQ. That's good. Then Nikki says, again, I'm basically running a shadow government across the FBI at this point.
Wrote it down. Just like Susan Rice felt the need to send herself an email saying that they did everything by the book. Yeah. Doth protest too much. And then you have the ability to come straight out and say, oh, it's like I'm running a shadow. Yeah, whatever. We know we can see it clearly. And this is another thing that Q said, that they did it all without being worried about being caught. In other words, they left a paper trail, and right here is the paper trail. Like, why do you leave that? Why do you not burn the burn bags?
Who didn't burn the burn bags?
That's a great question, Mr. Obama.
Fake news claim.
The voter data China obtained is already public information anyway.
Do you hear that? Do you listen? But just listen to the argument right there. Like that is are you telling me that's an American making that argument? Like, think about that. They completely dismiss the idea that, what their network sells ads to companies that sell you products about identity theft. So their company, they're selling you ads to buy a software that prevents your identity from being stolen. As the meantime, they're not going to report on the idea that China is the one that's stealing your voter data, that's actually probably recreating the fake you that's somehow running around out there spending your money. So again, everybody has everybody's information, Jeff. It's like, let's just throw our social security numbers into a hat, and then we'll just start sharing them. And the next thing you know, as we die off, we'll just give the ones that are to the people that are dead. We'll just pass those on to the illegal immigrants. It'll be fine.
So again, the fake news claim was the voter data China obtained is already public information anyway. Fact. When China obtained similar data on British voters, the Biden administration responded with sanctions and criminal charges. When Iranian hackers obtained just 100,000 American voter files, the Biden Department of Justice brought indictments. Yet, when China acquired data on 220 million Americans, these same officials stayed silent and covered it up. An indefensible double standards. Here's the sauce.
They probably passed it to them.
Right.
Through the servers, Hillary.
Yeah, U.S.
That's where they got it.
Alleged Chinese hackers as UK says voter files accessed. And here's the sauce, guys. Okay, they have the sauce. This is all very well sourced. Fake news claim, Shady.
There's no evidence that they were able to change the outcome of the votes.
Really?
Fact. This is a deliberate attempt to change the subject In his remarks, President Trump did not make the claim about past elections. He exposed dangerous, ongoing vulnerabilities in America's election system that foreign adversaries have both the intent and capability to exploit, and revealed that senior intelligence officials deliberately hid this intelligence from the president and you, the American people.
And the proof is there. Like you could see it. Like the proof is in the pudding.
Uh-huh. All right, Shady, we got the next fake news claim.
The number of non-citizens on voter rolls is insignificant, man.
Oh, really? It's insignificant considering that it was only 11,500 people that made the difference in Georgia. About 7 or 8 other states were inside 15,000 people made the difference between Donald Trump or Joe Biden winning the 2020 election. So you don't think that 50,000 illegals in a state that are being automatically voted for after the election is over so that your vote can count doesn't change the election? Right.
Insignificant, Shady.
Insignificant.
Yeah. So, fact, a Department of Homeland Security review identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens registered to vote in federal elections across just 4 states that cooperated with the department's request. Because many Democrat-led states refused to provide their voter files, the actual number is significantly higher.
Well, we guessed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's insignificant, Shady.
Who has the facts, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's the facts right there. The next one here is the fake news claim. You're going to love this one, Shady.
There is no evidence of fraud or irregularities in our elections. I almost said the wrong word. Let me just restate the fake news claim. There is no evidence of fraud or irregularities in our elections, Shady.
You did very good on the second read.
Fact, the declassified documents detail how clear evidence of fraud was deliberately buried. In one case, an investigation discovered Democrat-aligned canvasser in Michigan forged voter registrations, submitted applications for non-existent people, and received gift cards based on the volume of fraudulent registrations that they produced in the weeks leading up to the 2020 election. Despite the evidence, the Biden Justice Department slow-walked the investigation for years. Here's the sauce, guys, that you haven't seen before, guys.
But the media saw it. They saw it on the inside. You know, they had their insider, and the insider said that there was nothing to see here inside.
Yeah. And this is the Detroit field office was informed that a Michigan State Police, Michigan Attorney General, and Muskegon Police Department were investigated allegations of fraudulent voter registrations being submitted to the Muskegon City Clerk's office. It's all right here.
Let me bring your attention to the idea that a number of these things that we're presenting to you and showing you today, well, the shadow government lady was deciding on her own through her own intelligence. You know, she's the smartest person on planet Earth. We all voted for her and trusted her to be the government. And so since we trusted her to be the government, she was out there not allowing a lot of this information to go up chain and find its way into the presidential daily briefing. I find that very curious how this lady got elected president.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this is the sauce that they got. This is thanks for reaching out and taking the time to discuss this matter today. But nothing happened. And the director of election crimes branch. So you got what is it? The people in charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the wolves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fake news claim. Mail-in voting is safe and secure.
Fact. Multiple independent analysis have warned for years about the heightened risks of mail-in ballots. The Bipartisan Commission on Federal Election Reform concluded that absentee ballots are the largest source of potential voter fraud. The MIT Election Data Plus Science Lab has noted that fraud appears more frequent with mail-in voting than in-person voting. A Heartland Institute Rasmussen poll found that 21% of mail-in voters admitted to at least one form of fraud in the 2020 election. The Heritage Foundation has documented widespread vulnerabilities to the theft, forgery, and coercion. JD Group, there it is.
We're showing you the evidence that the mainstream media is acting like doesn't exist, so they don't have to admit. Remember, if the mainstream media comes, Well, if they come to TV and admit this stuff, Jeff, then that would be a big problem for them, because therefore they would be admitting to going along with the fraud for 5-6 years. You see? Yeah. That's a big problem. You know, that could do crazy things, like it could expose them to vulnerabilities for lawsuits. It could expose them to licensing vulnerabilities. It could expose them to advertising vulnerabilities. I'm hearing that a number of companies have pulled advertising from NBC and ABC due to them not carrying Donald Trump's speech. I would encourage other multinational corporations to do the exact same, to recognize that it is the responsibility of the news media to cover the news, and there's nothing else that is news other than the president saying what it is that we elected him to say.
So with that, President Trump has directed the ODNI, the Justice Department, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how this intel was hidden from the president and the American people. I think everybody, no matter who you are, would want to find out why and how and why we didn't know about it. And then we were called names and censored when we pointed it out, Shady.
But there's one group that doesn't want to know. Can you tell which group that is? Could it possibly be the group that's doing it? Because they all seem like they're in the same camp. They really do never disagree, no matter what page it is that they always seem to find themselves on, whether it's Rand Paul or Tucker Carlson. They're all coming to the conversation to tell you that, you know, all this stuff is just fine, and Donald Trump is senile and he's now irrelevant. All these different conversations they're extremely interested in having with you as we move towards the midterms, where the silent majority in America is going to have the opportunity to speak against them. Okay, I want you to understand that these people know that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. They realize that the midterms are going to get, they're in complete panic, 100%. They realize the midterms are going to squish them like grape. They know that's what's going to happen. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get as many people to jump ship as they possibly can before that occurs. That's why they're doing this thing with Charlie Kirk. That's why they're doing this thing about Israel. That's why they did the thing about Epstein. No one is saying that Jeffrey Epstein is a hoax. What Donald Trump is saying is that the way that they're portraying the case and the files, the way they were manipulated, is for a political agenda, not for uncovering the truth. Okay, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino did this country an amazing service by showing us the truth. And what did this group of people do? They closed their eyes, and they did exactly what the news media is doing right here. This is the perfect example of how they close their eyes to evidence. And Tyler Robinson, they close their eyes to evidence, and they look over here, and they try to distract you with their little media magic move. It's not going to work anymore. Yeah. The silent majority have caught on to their game. The con isn't functional.
These disclosures make one thing clear, Shady Groove. America's election system is broken and exposed, okay? And we, as Americans, should demand, no matter what party you're from, we should demand this to be fixed. And that's why President Trump is calling on Congress to immediately pass the Save America Act and safeguard our elections across the country, guys.
Also, I'd like to encourage anybody that has the time or the desire to get involved. Having an honest pair of eyes in any room at any time is valuable, no matter what. Seeing what is going on and being able to talk about what is going on. Look at the things that we saw in 2020. You literally had people acting like a plumbing issue was there whenever there wasn't. You had people on camera going up and putting cardboard up over windows. And then the media acting like that's the most transparency ever seen. That's more transparent than the Soviets were. Whenever, you know, the Soviets they would leave the cardboard down, Jeff. You know that so this is by making our elections secure, we put the cardboard up so people can't. We say, oh, you're going to be an election watcher. You have to stand 100 yards away from anybody that's doing any counting if you're a Republican. But if you're a Democrat, you can be right here, licking your fingers and counting the next vote. You see, like that's the dynamic that we have to change. And the only way we really change that is by more honest people getting involved and saying the truth whenever they see corruption.
So if we're all in agreement that it is incorrect to say the 2020 election was stolen, what about the 2016 election?
Look, I'm not going to go back into history.
It was a stolen election.
It was stolen.
Stolen. He's an illegitimate president. He's an illegitimate president. You know, pretending to be president.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he didn't.
1/3 of Clinton supporters say Trump election is not legitimate.
I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win.
You are absolutely right.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
The 2016 election was stolen. Got a nicer way to say that?
Say Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
A little louder, please.
Russia hacked our election. That was a 9/11 scale event.
This was a kind of cyber 9/11. American
cyber
institutions.
9/11.
Yes.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia, of course, hacked our election here.
Half of Clinton's voters believe the conspiracy theory that Russia hacked election day votes.
We know that they were into voting rolls. Actual interference with the elections themselves. We know it happened.
Despite no credible evidence, 67% of Democrats believe Russia tampered with vote tallies.
Hacking the U.S. election. Hacking the U.S. election. Russia hacked our election.
The Russians hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russian hacking of our election.
Hacking of our election.
Russia hacked our elections. Russia hacked our elections.
Stolen election.
Russia hacked our election.
Russia hacked our election.
The universal assessment that Russia hacked our election in 2016.
Foreign governments hacked our elections.
Most young Americans consider Donald Trump an illegitimate president. An illegitimate president.
He's an illegitimate president.
Why is he illegitimate? He just won an election.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind. That's it.
I absolutely agree.
Experts urge Clinton camp to challenge election results.
We will see how illegitimate his victory actually was. He's an illegitimate president.
Russia hacked our election.
Russians hacking our election.
Hacked our election.
Russia hacking our election.
I don't see the president-elect as a legitimate president.
Trump is an illegitimate president who stole the election.
He is not a president.
He's illegitimate, and my biggest fear is that he's going to do it again with the help of Vlad, his best pal. It's terrifying.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate?
Hillary Clinton voters called to overturn election results.
More than 4 million people have already signed a petition on change.org calling for the electors of the Electoral College to, quote, ignore their states' votes and cast their ballots for Secretary Clinton.
Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016.
We are the victims of a bloodless coup.
He didn't win the general election.
Yo, Electoral College, make Hillary Clinton president. Period.
Donald Trump is an illegitimate president.
Illegitimate president.
Dems don't accept Trump as a legitimate president.
This wasn't on the level. This election was not on the level. I don't think he's a legitimate president.
Our election wasn't legit.
He got his victory from cheating.
Yes, Trump cheated. Trump cheated the 2016 election.
He's an illegitimate president.
No validity, no credibility.
And because of that,
Anger at what some see as an illegitimate president.
It will not be a peaceful change of power.
a number of incidents turned violent. Protesters hurled trash cans, flash bombs, and objects at police.
Several officers injured. Protesters threw rocks and smashed windows, leading to more confrontations, injuries, and arrests.
The chaotic scene just blocks outside the secure area of the inauguration.
If denying election results is extreme now,
Yeah.
why look
So
at that?
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous.
Protests against Donald Trump's election victory surged overnight, and some became violent.
Violence erupted on the streets of Portland during the second straight day of protests over the election of Donald Trump. Some protesters launched fireworks and other projectiles at police. Several people began vandalizing cars.
Some demonstrators smashed store windows. Protesters faced off with police in other cities too, including Oakland, Denver, and Minneapolis.
Violent protests continuing now for the third day in a row. Some 4,000 angry demonstrators over Trump's election victory taking to the streets.
Officers confronted thousands of protesters in what police called a riot.
Setting fires, taking their frustrations out on cars and buildings. People threw projectiles at officers and damaged property as well.
I threw a trash can at them because I'm angry.
One woman driving through was attacked as someone used a bat to smash her windshield. They are undermining our democratic process, everything that we stand for.
Look here, Russia. Don't look there, China. So Russia hacked the election. You can put China in there, Shady Groove. I think that was a good reminder. They're the original election deniers, Shady. They call me one, but I know that elections happen every year. I just know that they're not secure. And I want President Trump to fix it. I want the American people to come together and fix our elections for the good of all humanity, Republican, Democrat, Independent. It does not matter. This is your voice that is being stifled by communists, Shady.
Stealing our country starts with stealing our conversation. Freedom of speech means we are allowed to have a conversation, a big boy conversation between the adults in the room. Stealing our country starts with stealing our conversation. What you're seeing right there is propaganda stealing your conversation. It's a fever pitch that Russia stole the elections, which never happened, and it's completely suppressed what China did, and in tandem with the globalists from multiple different countries in 2020, it's a non-starter. It's not something that you're allowed to talk about. Freedom of speech is our conversation. Okay? How do you steal our conversation? Well, you steal it by yelling at me whenever I'm trying to explain to you what my perspective is, instead of listening to me and then explaining to me yours. How do I steal your conversation? By creating violence, by hitting people, throwing things at people, setting things on fire, setting off fireworks at federal buildings, attacking police officers, saying that they shouldn't exist. That's another way that you steal my country. How are you stealing my conversation? By disingenuously arguing with me in bad faith, from a perspective that you do not believe. You are just putting it forward because you need it for your bottom line, whether you be a neocon like Ron and Rand Paul, or people like Tucker Carlson or Alex Jones, or all of these other opportunists that are in the system that are trying to steal our conversation away from us and then mold it into something else and then regurgitate it back to us and then forcing us to somehow have to reply to that nonsense, and then putting us on the record with our reply without ever understanding that we were objecting to your whole nonsensical theory to begin with. That's the way they steal our conversation, guys. This is part of what I feel like that Q reinvigorated within the American populace, the generating and creating a quote-unquote pop culture idea of ideas again came out of the questions that Q asked. And these ideas circumnavigate things like, are our elections safe? Or are the right people getting prosecuted? Is foreign diplomacy functional? Why are all these people finding it fun? Why do they call a parade to my border a caravan of gypsies? What is going on? Different things that adults can't have a conversation because they stole it away from us. This is what Donald Trump is doing for us. He's giving us the opportunity to have a real conversation again, and God bless him for it, sir.
And it should concern every single American, not political party. I don't care what political party you're in. It should concern every single American. Here's another reason yet to pass the Save America Act. The DMV error led to 400 non-citizens voting in New Jersey. Governor says a software glitch, of course, Shady, in 2023 at the New Jersey Department of Motor Vehicles led to roughly 6,600 non-citizens being registered to vote, says Governor Mike Sherrill, who announced it Tuesday.
But only 400 of them voted.
Yeah.
Look at that. It says 6,600 were registered, but they only voted for. That's a lie. That's not how
they only needed 400.
Whatever, but that's not how it's working. Like, out here in Oregon, they're voting for you. So every illegal they registered at the DMV, their vote shows up and it is counted, maybe even twice.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Just like I said, like, how can they have 220 million people when there's only 170 million people registered to vote? There's something really serious going on there.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. Thank you, B. Mikey. Thank you, Cram. We appreciate you. And I don't know if anybody else, we have a little bit light today, but we really appreciate every single one of you supporting this show. Why can't I get this over here? Hang on one second. Let me just see if I have any commercials, Shady. I don't think so today. No commercials today.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a little plug real quick. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you've been here at the MG Show. Thank you for all your red castles. Thank you for your Rumble rants, and thank you for your commentary that keeps us on the air and that has kept us alive here in this space to bring to you what Donald Trump's message is to you each and every day. Q Lounge Live is back. Tonight we are doing part 2 of the series on the Jesuit Flinfo Wars Octopus Network. Tonight we are going to be going through the connection specifically with the generals in the game. The generals are Alex Jones, Roger Stone, and General Flynn. These people are the ones that are behind orchestrating this. We're going to connect you directly to it, and it's going to start tonight to lead into part 3, which will be next week, which is going to show you the esoteric connection to exactly why these people are implementing communism and what it is their motives really are behind the curtain. We are breaking down the barrier of what it means to actually be a media person in America. These people that are opportunists are all being guided by the same hand, and we're showing you that in a long form 3-part Q Lounge Live series, part 2 tonight. That's 9 p.m. East, 6 p.m. Pacific, and thank you all for supporting us, because it's because of your support for this show that I brought this show back, and I'd like to see it continue.
Q Lounge live. Tonight, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on this Bat channel, Shady.
This Bat channel!
The same Bat channel. And guys, it's time to go for now. And we'll convene back here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Shady Group, thank you so much. God bless you all. Yeti, thank you. Chatters, thank you. 357, let me just read this $10 Rumble rant. Communism can never stand up to simple logic or criticism. That is why shouting down and censorship plus propaganda violence are always the key pillars to usher it. Communism is always brought in under lies.
Perfectly said, 357. Great comment. Thank you.
Boom.
Someone that can see.
We got one that can see, Shady Group.
See you in a couple hours.
We were shouting through the darkness, through the static, through the spin. They called the truth a threat and tried to bury it again. Said Wuhan was a whisper, said the lab was just a lie. But we saw the smoke at sunrise, saw the storm behind the sky. They froze the shores and cut the money, tried to choke the living feed, tried to break a warning voice and starve the things the people need. But the map was on the table and the drops were still in line. Now the paperwork is breathing and the clock says it's time. You can't stop what's coming, you can only hide so long. When the proof starts hitting concrete, all your evil will be shown. It's time for the mask to hit the floor. It's time for the lies to work no more. It's time, we were right to hold the line. Future proofs past, bloodlines crash, and the whole damn world's on time. It's time. It's time. They said trust the polished experts, fall in step and come to heal. While the same hand shaped the panic, sold the wound and sealed the deal. Fauci talking, papers dropping, every breadcrumb starts to rhyme. What they mocked as crazy patriots now reads like a timeline. We got years of being punished for a truth we couldn't shake. Every ban and every shadow was a tax on what we'd say. Now the D-class rose like thunder across a hard and bitter sky. And the ones who built the silence got no place left now to hide. You can only run the psyop till the script begins to tell. When the receipts come out in daylight, everybody sees who's there. It's time for the mask to hit the floor. It's time for the lies to work no more. It's time, we were right to hold the line. Future proofs past, bloodlines crash, and the whole damn world's on time. It's time. It's time. The signal, read it in the smoking steel. News unlocked the hidden corners, made the buried story real. Call it Q-proof, call it pattern, call it truth that learned to wait. Now the wheel is finally turning and the hour's getting late. They took the channels, they took the checks, tried to crush us, but we just flexed. But they couldn't kill the memory, couldn't kill the math, couldn't kill the line between, cause the news unlocks the math. It's time, let the dead narratives fall. It's time, let the truth outwalk them all. It's time, hear the warning in the chime. Wuhan lied, the papers rise, and the proof arrived on time. It's time, the quiet's loud, the storm's alive. We kept the watch, and now it's time. It's time, 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 time. It's time, 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 time. It's time. It's gonna be biblical. It's time. The Great Awakening. It's time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tock, tock. It's time.
www.mg.show. Boom.